Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Okay. How are you?
I'm great.
Great.
Yeah, it's another day.
It's a beautiful day.
Every day you wake up, it's a good day.
Yeah, you're especially chipper
Does
today.
that sound kind of nihilistic? But we're alive. No, it's
Doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Another day. Another day. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
That's why I'm excited. I've got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
No. So I was just, so, I mean, what's interesting about all our conversations we have about spirituality that I enjoy so much is that, well, have you heard the term SBNR? Do you know that? Maybe it's a hashtag. I don't know. Spiritual but not religious.
Oh, that's definitely a term that I've heard. SBNR. Is that like only people who are like religious leaders are like throwing around SBNR? Right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I just made it up. No, maybe it is. No, I mean the term.
Religious.
The term is around.
Yeah.
And maybe it is religious leaders throwing it around because it's sort of a concern. But I don't know. I'm just curious about your take because I don't necessarily like the term, but I was just curious about what you thought about it. You've heard it, you know it.
Oh, I've definitely heard it. I think it's interesting when people identify by negating something else.
Right. Well, that's exactly what I have the issue about. I mean, we talk about it a lot. I don't know who's we, mainstream religious leaders, because approaching it like it's a problem.
Right.
Just in the sense of like, okay, here we are working at these religious institutions and seeing that there's this group of people out there who are unaffiliated, and that's another term. And then, but yet recognizing that a lot of people identify spiritually, but not necessarily religiously. And by religious, we end up meaning identifying with mainstream religious institutions and practices.
I mean, when you said like religious leaders, that's something they're concerned with, and I was like, literally, what is there to be concerned with? It doesn't sound like a problem to me.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's the interesting issue, or the issue that I have with the issue, because then it's like, well, we're supposed to be concerned about it, and because we want people to be a part of our religious communities, but then on the other hand, it's like, well, don't we just want people to be engaged spiritually?
Right. Yeah. I get that there's a business aspect to it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, institutions, all institutions are always sort of in the business of self-preservation to some extent.
But that fear, fear is inherent in all of this.
Right.
Like, oh no, what happens when someone is spiritual but is not engaged with the institution?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you mean?
I'm just thinking that Justin Bieber song now. What do you mean? I love that song. Okay, focus.
Want to sing a few bars?
No, I don't. We can look it up on YouTube later.
I will.
I will. Office dance party.
A little office dance party. Like we were singing that Alanis the other day.
That was awesome. We were we're doing some kind of like mailing, and we were just like busting out the Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I remember rocking out to this when I was in kindergarten. And I was like, yeah, this album came out the year after I graduated college. That was a moment.
Jagged Little Pill.
Got one hand in my pocket and the other is giving a peace sign. Awesome.
This is the best day now. So good. Yeah. One of my highlights of working here. For sure.
It was a good day.
They're all good days, Rabbi.
Oh, thank you, Kirsten. They are all good days. But, yeah, I just think it's an interesting term. And then, like, going back to like the whole idea of affiliation. Like, what is it? That's what we always talk about, affiliation. We want people to affiliate, and basically we want people to support our institutions.
Right.
And it doesn't mean people aren't affiliated, they're just
Right.
not affiliated with us. So it just gets
Right.
to be this sort of us versus them thing. And the reason I don't like it is because of what you were saying about the negativity. And I like to see it as a bit of a challenge, and that it's not that we have to sort of bring people in,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, how could we approach spirituality
Yeah.
differently? Because I mean, I do, you know, I'd be lying if I didn't say I find value in some of these traditional forms,
Yeah.
and the synagogue that, you know, supports me
Sure.
and I support, but it's on how could tradition adapt
Yeah.
and change to sort of meet where people are spiritually.
Like, reduce the rigidity, you know?
Yeah.
Like, embrace that there are other ways to connect to the universe, to higher power, to spirit. Like,
The universe, yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
Well, that's what I appreciate about sort of our conversations, is sort of opening up ways of thinking around spirituality and hearing how you approach spirituality. It's been very informative and
Thanks.
thoughtful. And yeah, so like when we talk about that, it's like almost like you're like the people that we talk about in terms of that. No, I mean like the, you know, the demographic and the you know, the people who were in kindergarten when Jagged Little Pill came out, and then and then how they approach spirituality. And it's like, it's a real, yeah. So I was just reading again about that whole idea, and then just, yeah, I find it really challenging in a good way to think about how can we broaden ideas of spirituality and not just try to create conformity.
Yeah. I appreciate that you are a person that thinks about that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Would you appreciate that?
We're so appreciative.
We're
this
so
morning.
appreciative. It's good. Maybe we should.
Another day.
Another day. Maybe we should crank up that Alanis again. Well, no, I have to listen to this Justin Bieber song apparently.
And then,
And then a little more Alanis.
classic.
Sounds good.
I'm so excited. I love my job.